Thanks for staying with us. It's Celebrity Friday, and we like to get stories of celebrities so we can share with you and get some lessons from their experiences. So Davido has sued his first baby mama, Sophia Momodu, at the Lagos State High Court to seek custody of their daughter, Imade. Singer requested the court grant joint custody of the 9-year-old and an order of unrestricted access to his daughter. And Davido also claimed that the 37-year-old, that's the mother now, rejected a 200 million naira apartment in a gated community with a swimming pool and 24-hour power and water supply in Oniru, Victoria Island, Lagos, which he had purchased for the proper care of Imade. He said she rejected the offer to stay and live at a secured Oniru apartment, which had already been purchased, but demanded that I continue to pay 5 million naira annually for a rented facility at his contribution towards the daughter's accommodation. These and many more is what we're going to be discussing today. Now, the question is co-parenting impossible? You can join the conversation and call us on 081-2705-3687, or you can also tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So, ladies and mental gents, this co-parenting thing we're talking about. First of all, we analyze this particular one, then pack it, and now go into co-parenting proper. But when you heard the story, what came to your mind? That someone has offered to give you a house, well furnished, I'm sure, everything you have inside, just so that the daughter can have a semblance of a good life, and you are insisting on being in a rented apartment. What do you think about that?
So as we know, Davido is a very touchy topic because of his
minions.
Oh, well.
His fans.
His fans. So I'm going to be very careful. Anything I say is no malicious intent. Maybe mistake. But, one thing with situations like that is that they are so messy, so sad, because the person that really suffers is the child.
Yeah.
But, given that this is a court case, and we have just heard from Davido, he seems to be like the victim here. He seems to be like, see, I'm a great dad. I'm a great co-parent. I'm providing. Not only have I bought this really expensive house that has all these facilities for my child, which she would enjoy because she's the mother, I'm having to also cough out these millions of naira in rent when she could just stay in a house like that. But the truth is, what is the reason, until we hear from her, but I'm thinking, what are the reasons that a woman will insist on staying in a different place? So one, could it be that there have been issues before where he has given her something and has pulled it out from under her because, he owns it, so she may want to protect herself that way and say, no, make your contributions, this is where I'm staying. Or does she have a job that requires her to stay at a certain place? And then that particular house that you provided will be inconvenient for job and schooling. But he also said that that's the one I find very worrying, where he says he provided a car, a Range Rover, of course, as we know, really expensive, nice car. And that the school contacted him because his daughter had not been in school for 2 weeks. And when he asked the mother said it's because the car was faulty. That's why his daughter had not been in school for 2 weeks. And because of that, he gave another car. And he felt that if he had not even asked, if the school had not contacted him,
he wouldn't have known.
He wouldn't have known. So, but this is still his own version
of the story.
So, exactly. So for me, is co-parenting, we need to find a set of rules and laws so that people can follow that for better co-parenting. Because the way that we do it in Nigeria is really, based on goodwill. Your child is here. You do this, I do this. And then depending on who has craze and who does not have craze, it either works or does not work. If the person is, both parties are decent people,
they make it work.
Yes, they try and make it work. They understand and recognize that the person that's important in this relationship right now is the child. Everything else we'll put aside. But God help you, if one or both parties no grief for nobody, then you have issues like that back and forth. And then almost like waiting for one person to make a mistake so that you can pay back, or use the child herself or himself to, cause problems. So I feel that co-parenting can work if both parties are in an agreement, but because of how much we see that there's contention during this thing, I think we should start drawing up laws to say, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, and then it will make for an easier, hopefully, an easier, relationship.
Ramatu?
Yeah, so the way Davido presented the case, to me, it looks like exploitation. Like he's trying to say she's trying to exploit him because, of course, he's a wealthy celebrity and all. But for co-parenting, I think that there has to be, there has to be rules. It has to be stated. It has to be written out for both parties to agree. I know there's this somebody I know that had a son that goes to one popular school here in Lagos. They're doing this co-parenting thing, and both of them will go. This person will go for this visiting, the other person will go for the next visiting, one. Like that. They decided to put him in boarding school. There was a time then, okay, this person will go pick him up and bring him back home during the holidays. He'll stay throughout the holidays with her and all. There was a time the father just went, picked up the child, and traveled out and disappeared. Up till today, they have not seen that. She has not seen that child, and she has not seen the dad.
You see?
So all this co-parenting thing needs to be written out, stated properly so that both parents can know. Yes,
it is.
Parents can know what's it's obtainable and all. So, but to me, for him to give her a house, what 200 million, just like Miriam said, we don't know why she turned it down.
The house, yeah.
So we really need to hear from her so that we can know what her story is.
For me, I feel that Davido has done what I feel is the right thing to do. There's no need coming on social media to come and start bad-mouthing or quarreling when there's a court, and the court is supposed to help to define the level of relationship and the level of commitment each person should have. Up for the past 9 years, they've been trying to use their own common sense to decipher how they will relate with one another and the child. And according to Davido, it hasn't worked out for him to have a good relationship with his daughter. So since me trying to relate with common sense and relate with your good conscience and my good conscience has not worked so far, let's go to court. Let the court give us 2 weeks custody, holiday here, holiday there, and we both know this is clearly defined. Because this wasn't a case of divorce. This was a baby mama case. So they really didn't have to use. Typically, if it was a marriage, we got married and we went through a divorce, at the point of divorce, there will have been a conversation regarding how the children or the child in this case will be taken care of. But there wasn't any. So this was a case of you tell me you got pregnant. I say, no, I don't believe it is my child. Later, now I confirm it's my child through DNA.
So they went through that.
Yes, they went through that. So they've gone through a whole lot. And there's a case of, you want a relationship. Right in the beginning, she wanted a case of, we would have a relationship based on this child. And he's saying, I don't want a relationship. And so there was estrangement. Then there was reconciliation. Then they are now back to, okay, let's create a payment structure of you. Not each child. Because at first it was like, he's not paying any bill. And she tends to come to social media to come and report this situation. She has reported on Snapchat, she has reported on Instagram. She's always been the one that reports the situation and painting it like Davido is not a responsible father, which I'm sure is why, in this case, he's detailing how he has been taken care of. Because at first it was like, we're not paying any bills. And I want to pay. You're not the one allowing me to pay because you're saying we are not in each other's life. So they've had a lot of drama and it's been a bit messy. And Davido he's not a small boy anymore. He's 31. So there are things you would do when you are 27, 28, 29 that it will be accepted. But now I'm sure he's trying to. Just recently he did traditional marriage with Chioma. So he's trying to create a more structured life. And I think it is okay to want to do that. I also think that parents must be more selfless when it comes to their children. Whatever the man has done to you, whatever he does on the outside, no matter how bad the things are that he has done, your job is to ensure that your child has a wholesome picture of that man. Because whether you like it or not, that man, he's the child's father. Yeah. So I feel a lot more maturity needs to come to play. A lot of trauma needs to heal, especially as I can feel for Sophia, because Sophia is looking at herself, and here I have a 9-year-old daughter and see the father gallivanting around the world, singing song for the love of his life. Like life is looking good on that side, and I'm having to cope with this. So I think there might be trauma, and there might be that sense of little bitterness. Let me just qualify. It looks like a little bitterness, which might rub off on how you will be relating with the father of your child. So there is need for therapy. And see, it's not See, it's normal. You are a human being. There are feelings you
Book
have.
a session.
You must acknowledge it. Book a session with BC. Let's have a conversation to help you put things in perspective, have a wholesome view, so that you will see yourself for the amazing person that you are, Sophia, and a mother to this girl, and you can raise her to have a balanced relationship with you and with the...
We have a caller.
Going to court, I totally agree.
Monisola from Ketu, are you still there? Sorry for keeping you.
I'm on the video side.
Monisola, good morning.
Well done for a very good job.
Good morning, sir.
Concerning the issue of co-parenting, if it is possible, yes, it's very, very possible, particularly now that he is going to court.
Okay.
There is a law in Lagos State, child rights law, where we talk about custody and access. And as an extension, there can be a co-parenting. Of course, because of the age of that girl, the court might decide that she stay with the dad from Monday, with the mom from Monday to Friday. Then from Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, stay with the dad. I don't think it should be a problem. Whether Sophia wants or she doesn't want, if there is a law like that on custody and access, custody and access in Lagos State, that there is a law, child rights law of Lagos State, stipulated all that and how it can be guided. So now that the video is going to court, I think it will surely get that. On the issue of the house, just like the first speaker said, we don't know the conditions that are attached to it, but I don't think any woman will throw away such, opportunity. But we don't know the conditions that are attached to that gift, in quotes. Maybe the name is seen in the name of Davido or whatever, and the guy is like, I don't think I can hold on to this kind of agreement until, as the other lady said, until when Sophia speaks and we know our mind. But I believe, of course, she's bitter. So it's so clear that she's bitter. But
yeah. So okay, you wanted to.
Really, for me, Davido is a responsible dad. He comes across as a responsible dad because situations like this we've seen a lot, and most times the men neglect the woman because they are not married, so he will neglect her and he won't even bother taking care of the child and all. But he is looking out and trying to contribute and make her life better. So she should look at the positive part of it and at least just, calm down. The cost is actually so much. Yeah. It's a lot.
Well. So I know a couple of friends that are co-parenting.
Okay.
And I know some of their issues. So let me see without revealing too much. Okay, so let's give an example of a Davido now. He provides a house, he provides car.
Yeah.
But who provides, in his own case, there is maybe fully paid for, but let's say it was rent. Who provides electricity bills? Who provides water bills? So that's what I hear a lot of them say. That yes, the just big bills, but the running, the everydayness of parenting is expensive. Yeah. And sometimes because you think you have paid for the big ticket ones, you think you've done so much. And yes, people are able to point, oh, see where they are living, see the car they are driving. Yeah. But the fueling of the car every day, she goes to school. We know Mondays to Fridays. Well, how about the extracurricular activities I have to take the child for?
Now you're
it's on. Yes, we understand, but so that it does not look like this is. It does not look like only the father is a responsible father. Yeah. I'm trying to say that sometimes there are some things that are quite intangible that you can't put down
but they're heavy.
Yeah, but they are quite heavy as well. And so those are some of the things I hear a lot of co-parents, especially on the mother's side. On the mother's side, the parenting, everyday parenting, there's a cost to it. It takes away time, effort. That's the one that affects your mental. You have to give in your mental. A man can be away where he is living his life, chasing his dreams, having a second or third family, but you have to every day be there parenting. So you find that where someone may come across as bitter, it's not because they are bitter, it's that I'm the one actually taking the burden of this parenting. Child, When the child is ill, when the child is ill, I'm the one that stays throughout the night with this child, rush to the hospital in the morning, they have to get to work, they have to come back, they have to make food, So sometimes what I hear is the men don't see that or appreciate and acknowledge that. What they would say is, look at all the things I've provided.
I've done for you.
And for us, especially if also you are not from that same economic bracket, you're thinking, hey, 200 million, that will change my life. But in their own circle, that is just what they do. That is maybe less than 10% of whatever it is that he owns. He's able to give of it freely. Sure. So what is he doing beyond providing these big ticket items in involvement of
Let
the
me
parenting
take this
of
call,
this
Miriam,
child?
before I answer you. Because some people are even wishing that they can provide this big one for them. Ade from London. Good morning, Ade.
Good morning. I need an apology. You have been holding me up, only my pound sterling. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't hear. Sorry,
my
sir.
contribution to this is that it's okay. The lady should better take the opportunity now to be in good relationship. I mean, with Davido, in order agreeing for him to have access to his daughter, because not every man will do what Davido wants to do. Anthony Joshua has a baby mama with his son. He bought the property for them. They are living fine. So I don't know why this lady is refusing. Maybe Davido cannot marry her by force. So she should know that and get that clear. There are a lot of baby mama in Nigeria. Two-face has baby mama. They are all happy. So she should just take whatever Davido give her. And so for them to be comfortable and for the future of that daughter. So she allow Davido to take care of the daughter so that she can have education and better life. That's my advice to get.
Yeah.
Don't force yourself for a man to marry you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. God bless you too, sir. So, this matter, it's very close to home because I've been opportune to see a lot of people, family, friends, who have been in this situation. And I always, because of that, my growing up, I always told myself that if anything happens and I have a child, I should be prepared to take care of that child outside my wedlock.
Yeah.
I have a child outside wedlock. It's nobody's fault. I should be ready to take care of that child, whether there is a man who's supporting me or not. Because it was my choice to keep the baby. I could have removed it. That's on one hand. There are people also who have lost their husbands. There are people who it happened and the man disappeared. They take care of their children. So I'm not saying you shouldn't demand, you know, when the man is present, but in your head, understand that you decided to birth this child under this circumstance. You could have waited for them to put a ring on your finger before birthing the child, because I've seen situations where somebody just targets somebody and feels, once I have a child for this person, and they do that to a lot of celebrities, once I have a child for this person, my ticket away from poverty. And then they stay there without doing anything to help that child, just trying to see what they can get from this person. Shebi, I have a child for you. You should kill yourself for me because I have a child for you. So I want to take it away from those people, right? I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm just saying there are different cases in a woman's head where this can happen. I've seen other people who, the man is big. The man doesn't care about the child, and they don't have issues with it. It's my child. They move on with the child. Now, the problem I have is when it gets to a point where, except the man is a madman or he's a crazy man, right? It gets to a point where you now start restricting access for the man to see his child. I personally have a problem with that because I'm in Africa and I believe that it's the man that owns the child in Africa. If we're in Ghana now, we will say it's the woman, maternal, you know, their owner. This is patriarchy. The man owns the child. And it will be unfair that you birth a child with a man and then you are restricting access to the a child. So he has to pass through this hurdle for him to see his child. I feel it's very, very unfair. So I'm just saying that women can take care of their children. I have a very close friend today that the man na deadbeat. They don't even see him collect chicken. And you imagine, you know why I remember chicken? He sent chicken one Christmas. This is after I'm telling you, after he has abandoned this woman for over 5 years without dropping a kobo. He doesn't know the school the children are going to. He doesn't know their healthcare. He knows nothing. He just called her one Christmas. We have chicken, oh, come and take chicken and cook for the children. And she was asking, where's the pepper that we used to cook the chicken?
So now you
where's the salt that we used to
Okay, so were they married? This one, they are married.
Exactly what
you said, yes. I
Let me
remember.
just answer something that BC had said earlier, you know, and it's a reflection of what the caller even said. The caller was saying that, this is like, because Davido is responsible, Sophia should be grateful rolling on the floor. Because there are many irresponsible men, and the fact that there are many men that do not handle their responsibility doesn't mean that the person who has done it now has done something, you know, like, it's like one-eyed man in the king
Land of the blind.
The land of the blind. I feel that, yes, I'm grateful for what you've done, but it's not like, He's a responsible man because everybody else is not responsible.
Thank
no.
you. Thank you.
He's just doing what any reasonable man should do.
Tope,
Every man should be responsible.
Yes.
So the irresponsible
Every
ones
man.
are the ones we should be trolling and calling them out. Not that we should now be
You're
applauding
sending
and saying,
chicken.
no. I think it's not a... the way we call her been saying it, they're like, she's not being grateful. She should be this way and that way, no. So Sophia also... we need to be careful what we put online because whatever you put online, people can always refer to it later. Because some years back, she had mentioned she wished that her daughter's name was... Her daughter carried her name. And a case of, because I'm the mother, I'm the one playing mother and father, it should just bear my name and not bear Davido's name. So there are some things she has put out there that connotes bitterness and connotes that there is division
she's Yoruba, right?
them. Yes,
because if it's in Igbo culture, that child is not Davido's child. Though. Exactly. You don't marry the mother.
Exactly.
She's Yoruba, so
the child is yours.
Obviously, they had already put the child in Davido's name, and then she's suddenly regretting the fact that this child, I'm the one doing mother-father role.
Okay.
So it's when you keep going online and putting things out there, you are going to, it will come back even when they are going to court now. All of it will show up because all of those are evidence against Sophia that you are actually holding back your daughter and all of that. And finally, this house that they are saying that Davido bought, Davido should please tell us, is the house in Davido's name or was the house in the name of Sophia?
Which name would you have preferred it?
The house is supposed to be in Sophia's name.
I think another time, Mariam. Which one is supposed to be?
It should be
and maybe he's not ready to give the child. The child is still a baby. You can put your name later. He can buy it in his name.
But she's saying
I don't have a problem with him buying it in his name.
she says, I can't stay in that house.
That you bought in your name.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Let me take Festus, then I come to you so you can give me your full gist. We have Festus. Good morning, Festus.
Good morning.
Your life,
Good
sir.
morning.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Now, I give kudos to that lady. Yes, you people, you are talking as if Davido has done something extraordinary. Having somebody out of wedlock or sleeping around is a bad thing, whether you are in Africa or anywhere you may be.
Okay.
Sleeping around is a bad something.
Okay.
Now, when you want to date somebody and you know you are not protecting, so you know what is going to come out, and the lady comes to say, okay, I am pregnant. You know you subjected her to mental torture when you say no to that child. Because you were moving with somebody you cannot trust. And then you now take her to DNA. That means the trust is not there. But you are ready to sleep. So the lady is already passing through certain trauma. And having, carried on for so many years now you have accepted. You are now showing with money because you have the money. I give kudos to that girl. Yes, the girl is not carried away by what is on ground. And then, how will that girl continue to see other men if you are living in Davido's house? Because since you are not going to marry her, she should be free to accept other men who may come for marriage proposal. Can she bring men to that same house? Or will she be living in a house where she cannot attend to visitors? You are not thinking in that direction because somebody has got 200 million this year and is taking away your freedom.
Also, I know of a particular story, and that's something where if the ex is the one paying for the house or the one that owns the house, and this is a person that is not in a relationship with you anymore, the person allowed to have relationships in your house, you are more likely to say, I paid the rent, or I paid for this house, I don't want to see any man in this house. Uncle, but we're not in a relationship. So maybe these are some of the reasons that we see. So you see, when it comes to situations like this, these baby mama conversations, is that especially when it's a baby mama to a wealthy person, it's easy to forgive the wealthy ex because he has provided house, car, he's traveling, everything. But we forget that there's a lot more that happens in relationships. There are other things that need to be provided for. And whatever it is that the baby mama provides is not seen as a big deal because we can't see it. It's not in our faces every day. And so we treat it as if, Madam, he's doing you a favor. Be grateful. We say all the things I mentioned earlier. BC is like, is she not the parent? She should provide for it. Is he not a parent? Shouldn't he provide for also those intangible ones? But we forgive him because he has given all the big things. And then we just expect only her to be able to do the intangibles. It requires both parents
To work together.
We're not saying it requires marriage. We're saying it requires both parents. And if we can acknowledge you and praise you for the big ticket items, we should acknowledge the woman and praise her for those other things. Because for her to be able to do this, imagine if Davido had a concert somewhere and it was Imade's day to be sports day. And she says, I want my daddy there.
Your daddy has a concert.
No, listen. If, you know, and we're doing, you do this, and it's his day to be at the sports place. Is it not relationships, knowing, understanding tangible? Is it not the woman that, you know, that they'll come together and say, I have a concert somewhere? What if we insist that there's a law here? You will leave your concert and come for sports day? No, she will be there for you.
Yeah.
So if she can do that for you and, you know, why can't we acknowledge her for those sacrifices? Yeah. And that's why I find, and I don't like this baby mama thing, that we refer to the woman as,
complicated.
if we don't refer to the man as baby daddy. I don't like it. It's, yes, I know that exists, but I'm saying that the moment you put that baby mama on the person, you're already saying this person that is not, is
moral.
does not deserve respect.
Morals, yeah.
Does not deserve. She should be grateful for any good thing that she gets. Everything that she gets is a favor to her. And so because of that, nothing, you know, that is decent should be expected of her. She should not even have any requests. And so that's why we need to be careful. Now we're talking, so remove the baby mama. When we have these conversations, we're talking about two parents and their role in the lives of the life of their children.
Yeah, so I like where you went to.
I think currently we are kind of like deviating from the current realities on ground. Religiously and culturally, that child is not recognized in the family. You understand? Because she was born out of wedlock.
Okay.
Whose culture?
Religiously and culturally, Nigeria.
No, culturally, in the Yoruba culture,
You have children.
she can have, they are recognized.
They are recognized.
Yes.
In Igbo culture, the child is the mother's.
Is the mother's child.
Because there's no dowry on the mother's head.
Exactly. So if they are not recognized, so to me, he's doing her a favor for even trying to. Yes, culturally. So he's doing her a favor by even coming out and saying, okay, I want to take part in this, I want to do this, I want to do that. And aside that, he complained of the fact that she wants to be collecting $800 for the nanny. The nanny that takes care of her.
Yes.
And that's too much.
Why is it too much? You don't live, you're not, sorry. Why is it too much? If it is something that is average or it's something that is paid
for one child,
for that
$800.
lifestyle. For that lifestyle, if you come from a certain socioeconomic group, there are some things that they do that you may not understand.
Yeah, because
their children
not there.
own the most expensive phones and it's nothing to them because it's less than 1%
of their income.
Yeah. So that amount, so that's why I feel it's very unfair for some of us to even be discussing this thing because we will never get it. Okay. Because in my mind, already you should just be happy and grateful. But if you live in that space, there's a way you
There's a lot to maintain.
There's a lifestyle that is maintained. There's a sort of nanny that they get. So she may not get the sort of nannies that we get. And this is something that he also wants for his child. So to put the amount out, it would be like she's asking for much more.
Too much, yes.
That's actually why it's normal.
But let me say something. So because you're living in... So let me use someone close to me, for example. So she's co-parenting. And the child, till today, the child is 10, does not know that the parents are not together. And this man left when she was 2. They are co-parenting perfectly. So in the child's head, daddy is working in another country, and he comes from time to time. And when daddy comes, he comes to visit. Yes, he comes to visit. Daddy doesn't sleep, but she doesn't get that. He comes to visit, he does the school runs, he takes her out, blah, 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 that period that he's around, and then he goes back to work, right? So when I was having a conversation, I said, when are you going to tell? He said, after the 10th birthday, I will now explain to her that we're not together. They still go on vacation together. She just stays in her room, he stays in his room. The child does not know. Perfect co-parenting. The child still feels, and what she also did was to make sure that no guy comes to the house.
Good.
So you can stay in that house that Davido provided for you and date outside.
Yes.
You don't have to bring the man to the house.
Is that what is expected of Davido?
No. Leave Davido. He's already married now.
No, before he married.
No. Davido is
yellow,
already married.
different colours.
Some men will not
just
bring a
got married.
woman home except they are ready to marry for the sake of their children. So
But she's
the
not your
conversation,
wife.
no, listen now, the conversation now is not caring for the child. You don't just bring several people to the house. You are confusing the child.
Yes.
So
How about the man?
leave the man. Leave the man alone.
The
Now
child
you
is
get
not-
belle.
the child
Now
is
you
not
choose
staying
to
with
get
the
belle.
man
You
now.
for remove that pikin if you don't want.
I'm telling you.
Now you choose to get belle.
Yes.
So for the sake and sanity of a growing child, you cannot present. There was somebody who came, a family member who was coming to my house, and the first time I brought one girl. You know, I hosted them. And the second time, he was planning to bring another girl. I warned him. I said, don't bring different girls to
My
my
house.
house where my children will be asking questions. Who is this auntie again? So as a woman, you have left. It's not working, we're co-parenting and all of that. For the sanity of your children, till they get to a certain age where they will understand, don't bring the boyfriend home. It's not about him now, whatever he chooses to do, right? That's on him. Your responsibility as a mother is to protect your child to the best of your ability. That when your child is in your care, right? And that's why some women will say, I don't want my child going to this man's house, especially if it's a randy man, where there are different women coming into the house. They know what they are doing. So that is not an excuse. You can date who you want to date. When they are now ready to marry you, they come and marry you away from the child. Are they person house? I meet boyfriend. We marry me today. Now another boy house I date. Meet her. You don't mean anything. Wait, you not stop anything. Secondly, I've learned to manage my expectations of people. So I don't break my heart. Even if he has billions and he does not want to give me, I will manage what I have and raise my child to the best of my ability and raise the child in love. Tomorrow the child can decipher that daddy was good or daddy was bad. It's not me that will say it. So she can manage her expectation. I'm not saying she's demanding too much. Of course not. But even in that, she can take care of this child.
So, could it be that
my
the reason
opinion, personal
she's not
opinion.
being, she's not, so she might not have allowed Davido have so much access to Sophia because we see Davido's social media
Lifestyle,
posts
yeah.
and the lifestyle, and we see that lifestyle, and we're
Mentioned
saying, I really might not want my child to be around
that
this
space,
person
yeah.
because maybe you might be the father, but you are not. Your lifestyle does not depict that you've made the sacrifice necessary to be a father to my daughter, to my own daughter. You might be a father to other people's own, and they like it, but the way you're living, the drinking, the all of that.
For
the
my child,
party, different people coming to say that you are their mother, baby mama, and all of that, and maybe I might give you my daughter for one day, and there are 3 women all over you, throwing you all sorts, the party, everything that gets to happen around celebrities and stardom. Sophia might say, I might not want my child to be exposed to that. And that at such a young age, she's still 9.
But he was a singer when he met her.
No, but what
when
I'm
you become a
saying,
mother,
what
life
you
changes.
require of the mother that you're saying she should put her child first, even the way she did.
required of
And
the
also
father.
required of the father.
Yeah.
So it's not enough for us to say she's the mother. She decided to carry it. She should have left. You are a father. You decided to have the child. So
Or you did not even decide, but you have already
but
become
the
a-
child is here,
Yeah.
then you must act like a father. I just don't, I hear what you're saying, but many times when I hear that point
pressure
of
of too
view,
much on the
it's
women.
the mother that is expected to do everything without, you know, the father expecting to do the same. So for me, I feel that when I have these conversations, I want to also point out to the men that you also
You
have
should do your bit.
responsibility to do that.
Yeah.
Many women have carried the burden of sort of protecting the child, making the sacrifices. But remember, as I said, those are still seen as intangibles. We don't see that. All these things that you described that she should have done, when Davido or anyone else is putting in the court papers, they will only put the big names, the big cars, the big whatever
That they've done.
What you
they've
just
done.
did.
Nobody will say, do you know I sacrificed even my dating life?
Yeah.
Some people
My
say, I have
sleep.
my dating life because I just did not want my child to be exposed to those things. But
Social
we don't
life,
think that's
everything.
important enough. She can't write it down on the list of
You are
things
right.
that
It's
need.
not even
No, she
there.
has to start writing it down
to-
because
well,
if it's
we
abroad,
have
they will
from her.
speak, they will
but
pick
you
it
know
out.
what? You will
Yes.
still call and say, hey, are you not the mother? Is that not what you're supposed to do?
Exactly.
Let's
And yet
take a
we are
short
applauding the one that
break
is
here.
spending money.
So we have a message from YK. She's watching the show this morning. Miriam, read
She
for
says, ladies, I want to talk from personal experience. I hope you can read this.
us. Yeah, read it.
I have said it
Just
on the
share the story
okay,
here.
I've said it on the show several times. I wanted to battle my ex till my lawyer spoke to me. He said, and I quote, "A child is not a chattel." So I came down from my high horse and went to appeal to my ex. we came to a compromise. It wasn't easy, but each time we wanted to fight, one of us would come down and think of the child. The child is a human being and deserves the best from both parents. Let both parents think of the child.
Yeah, amazing. So I personally feel that when you put the child's needs first, there are some things that you will not fight over. Even when you feel like it's not coming, you can hold space for your partner, for your other partner, till they are able to realize themselves, right? So instead of going all out, full blown, no, I no go agree, I no go agree. I no go agree, I no go agree. You now understand that this person is not there mentally, emotionally, where I expected him to be. Because before you open leg, you suppose don't expect you and the person did.
Why are you whispering on TV?
You and the person, they're almost on the same level. But unfortunately, you now realize that you and this person don't be on the same level in terms of emotional capacity, in terms of considering one another. You are not on the same level. And you will see it play out, especially when a third party comes in, your child or other family. You will just see some of these things. Then you hold space for that person. I've seen women, and it's not like I'm excusing the men, right? It is bad behavior to have a child and you're not thinking of that child. I do not excuse it in any way at all. Growing up now, they used to come and steal us from school sometimes when, you know. And there was this family.
You did not finish that sentence.
Member. Don't leave it.
Okay.
I remember I'm not supposed, I don't want to share it.
Okay.
That anytime he goes, that separates from, had several wives or several wives,
women.
baby mama, and women, rather. Anytime he separates, he tells you, if you carry this pikin, come off for here. Don't bring this child back. Because once that child is not raised with him, he cannot connect.
Yeah.
He can never, even if the child comes back after how many years, he finds it difficult to connect.
So,
and for the sake of the children,
they leave the child.
they left their children. They left their children.
So there are two,
They left the children with the
two
father.
ways to look at that
They left the children with the father.
Yes, they left the
So
children
there
with
are
the
two
father.
ways to look at women like that.
Okay.
I mean, there are two different women. There are those who would leave that because they feel that the father's
the
role
capacity.
is very important.
Yeah.
Or maybe even has the financial capacity to take care of
raise
the
the
child,
children.
to raise the child. But then there's another who says, I may not have as much as he has, but you, my child, you will always know your mother. I will be there so that you will know that I was there for you. Because the truth is, women have made some sacrifices, good or, you know, on this side or on that side, and somehow it takes the grace of
everything.
Yes, it takes the grace of God for the child to even understand.
Remember.
If you leave this child with the father, it's like you left me. You know the sort of man he was.
And you abandoned
know the
me
sort
here.
of,
If
you
you carry him
abandoned
away, they'll
without
say
a
you don't
mother,
let
and
me
I
have
have
a
a mother that is
relationship.
alive. Then if you take the child with you, it's like you denied me of my father's love. So the thing is,
Whichever way.
difficult.
a woman,
Mama go carry am.
that's why I feel that the respect for a mother and a woman is...
No.
Okay, so leaving a child with the dad, the risk is very, very high because the father will go maybe get married to another woman,
Both
and
ways.
that's where you have stepmothers.
Both ways.
And then there's that maltreatment.
There's stepfathers too that molest children.
Yeah.
Both ways, though. It's just the grace of God that you are able to really pay attention. And sometimes, for the women, most of the time, they sacrifice their relationships. They won't date.
Yeah.
They will not date. They will not bring any man home because they don't want wahala till the child gets to a certain age. Maybe they now go to boarding house and all. So they sacrifice that aspect of their lives. Men don't do that sort of sacrifice because they will explain to you that they need somebody to cook for them. They need somebody to rub their back. They're always needing somebody. Even while they are putting their wife in the grave, there's a sissy beside rubbing back and saying, "Cry well, oh, no worry, she's going to heaven." You know. So women sacrifice a lot when it comes to that, and that's why I would expect that as you are growing up to become a woman, you are ready for the decisions that you are making. As you are opening your leg, you are ready for the decisions that come with it. Yes.
You know
Mistakes
what?
can happen too.
Yes, because
and life can also happen.
Yes,
but if you intentionally do this, now you all know.
Many
Even
of
as
us...
a married woman, you need to even be very careful because even this marriage is not, there's
You
no
can
guarantee.
still pack up.
You can pack up. So you need to have you need to have money so that in case when it packs up, you'll be able to take care of the number of children that you bring to life.
Yeah,
Don't be giving birth to 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah,
and
because
then
there's money.
You understand?
Life happens, and I don't know how many of us were as aware or intelligent as we are now in our 20s, as teens. Some of us, even the men that we we are married to. It just so happens that it worked out.
Yeah.
Because if we were to look at the way that you did the choosing, it would have been really stupid. So life happens.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when life has happened, that you're learning from it and you're doing better. And in conversations like this is where we're also talking to men as well as the society in general. A man can make many mistakes and somehow we forgive them. We're constantly forgiving them. He's a young boy. How old is he? He's in his 20s. Oh, he's a man. You know, oh, he's a celebrity. There's always a reason why a man can get away with bad behavior. But the woman, you're a woman.
You should know better.
You should have known better.
Yeah.
And I just feel that we need to give people more grace. We need to have more understanding. And people, I've seen that people learn better from when we show them grace.
Yeah.
When we show them that, you know, there's a different way. Because it's not just about her, it's about the many different women younger than her that are watching how we're treating this woman, you know. So in this Davido Sophia's case, for me, it's not as, I'm not seeing two bad people. I'm seeing two people who are misunderstanding each other. And I think that their focus should come back to the child.
Yeah.
And for this, make the sacrifices needed on both ends for the sake of the child.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and that of the same thing I would say, like YK reminded us, that the attention should be, what would the child, how would I want my child to grow up and not giving trauma to that child as well. On comments that we've seen on on
can try and
YouTube,
take some messages.
yes, in taking those messages, I would say that the place says, yes, take your child, but don't deny the father access to the child. Maturity is knowing how to co-parent without drama. And Jojo says Davido will turn his back on her and nothing the law can do to the Adelekes. We will sit and watch her cry on social media. Let Sophia take heed enough of the noise, according to the place. Hafsat said the child grew
unsympathetic.
Yes, very unsympathetic. But because we know the way in Nigeria, powerful people tend to get away with doing anything they want to do.
Yeah.
I remember the time when the lady there was the drama with the former Minister of Aviation. Oh, what's this man's name? There's this...
Which one?
It went viral that the woman was saying she didn't have access to her children. And it was because when you're very powerful in Nigeria, when you are very influential in Nigeria, you tend to get away with things that on a normal day you probably would not get away with. So I understand. It doesn't mean it is right, but that's
she also comes from quite an influential family,
clout
right?
as well. She has a bit of influence, being that she's we don't know the. I just know that she's a niece to Davido Momodu, and
at least it gives her some clout.
Leverage. Oluwabankole says, how many children Davido won't take care of? Yes. Fanikayode had a lot of drama with
baby mamas or wives.
With the wife and children, and it was really dramatic. Somebody else said, how many children do Davido wants to take care of? I don't know. As many as he has.
He's birthing.
Yes. As many as he can have.
Exactly.
She can take care of them. People are there are negative comments on Davido.
Let me because I just remembered now.
Sophia.
Yes, when Miriam made comments, was giving an example of probably she wanted to, or she was having a program in school, and then it's Davido's turn to. I now remember that when you're two partners in, raising the children, it's easy to make excuses. Daddy can't be here. Even when the child is in cities, daddy I want, daddy can't be here, daddy has to work, I'm coming, right? And you don't see it like you are overdoing because two of you are in a loving relationship. Now, when you're not in a loving relationship, that's when you're separating it. But Oga Kombo, she wants to see you, you have to be there. I don't care whether you're doing a concert or not, she wants to see you, have to be there. If he was your husband in the house, will you tell him to leave the meeting? That would probably build him money.
Okay.
Or even the other way as well, So it's just about understanding. When you're able to put the child's needs first, even when you call, because the truth of the matter is, this man now is building another home. That presence that you want for your child, he will not be able to give you to the extent that you want it, except you are not being reasonable. Because he now has another woman. If the woman was like you, constantly calling him, he will not see space to smile at you. There are some women.
I have a question.
I'm just saying. If the woman in the house, if the woman in the house is as forceful and territorial as you are, he may not even have an opportunity to see your child.
Okay.
I
get what you're saying, but remember we're talking of someone he's not in a marriage with. So I'm not talking of two wives. we're talking of
No,
someone
one
who's
is
not
outside
good.
and one is inside.
And there's a child
Involved.
involved.
The same thing.
Good. My question is, you're saying that he may not have the time to give your child.
Yes.
It's his child.
I know.
He should carry the child and put in his...
You are forgetting
He
the,
can
the
make-
woman factor in the house.
No, that's what I'm saying. Now remove husband, daddy, babies, whatever, and put father.
Yeah.
Why would you give less to this child?
They happen. I mean,
No, I know that they
but we're
happen.
saying the right
No, what I'm
Miriam,
saying is
please,
that
can we
no,
just-
you
what
can
I'm
try-
trying- Listen
okay.
to what I'm trying to ask.
Okay.
Is that yes, this is something that happens that we are accepting.
Yes.
Can we change the narrative? Can we make people see that
That he
he's-
try and balance
he
it?
Can, yes, he
Yeah.
can.
That should be the goal.
He does not need the mother for him to give his daughter
The best.
more of that he needs to give her, even if it's presence.
Yeah.
What if he's constantly going for the children of the one in the house for their activities and never makes the time for this?
But that will happen.
No,
It will happen.
No,
It will happen.
Listen,
I just want to
listen,
know
listen,
reality.
listen.
It will happen.
My
It will,
expectation.
We applaud them,
it will
other baby
happen.
papas.
It will
Honestly,
happen, but
wait, let her land her
it
point.
will happen. I'm not saying it will not happen.
Okay.
It will even happen on the other end
As well.
But it will happen if we also understand that it can happen because issues happen. Not it will happen, so take it. Or that is how it happens.
No. I'm not saying take it.
You know, no, that's what a lot of times when we discuss,
push
that's
that.
what we push. That's what we say. Take it. It may happen. Manage it. You know, what we see, or in both movies at least, I don't know their realities, is that the co-parenting involves father, mother in the house and the one outside.
Yes,
so that
together.
this child does not feel excluded, does not feel that daddy is doing so much more for those who are right beside him. And that is why they talk about the compromise between the parents. Because if you are in his way too much, he may not be able to include this child with the other children.
Yeah.
So, but because we always say it as if it's a given that the man will not really be there because he's starting another family. That's not a healthy.
But how
income.
is it there as Nigeria?
Miriam, but
Let me
that's
take
the
this call,
society.
please. Then
Miriam,
I'll
that's
come
the
to two of
society.
you.
That's what the
We
society
have
tells us.
Nina
Who is the society? Is
from
it not
Jos.
us?
All of us, but we can't. He's not the video
Nina
that will
from
change.
Jos. You people will face the wall. Oh.
Sorry.
Nina from Jos.
Topic.
Oh, sorry about that.
Can we ask him how Flavor is doing his own? Because Flavor has baby mamas.
No, they don't come on social
They don't come on
media.
social, so you don't know.
How is Timaya doing his own?
Oh, no.
How is Wizkid managing his own?
We don't know.
So I think at the end of the day, the reason we are discussing the video is because they have
bring
brought
it
their
out.
matter to us. And sometimes, when you say it's inside your house that you will eat the kidiko, like there's a Yoruba proverb that you will eat it inside your house. It's not when you bring it outside, you make everybody, you put your life and your story into
Everything.
everybody will be chiming in what they want to a large extent. The family unit is too important, and if we don't get it right in the family unit, we have children that have dysfunction, traumatic children that are throwing trauma into the next generation.
Yep.
So it's important that protect your family, get the healing necessary, get the support necessary in-house. When you bring on social media, majority of those that are out there, they're not after your interest.
Yeah.
They're just after, we want topics
They're
to
catching
discuss
cruise,
about.
yeah.
I want to know
Yeah.
your story.
So thank you, ladies. What we are taking out of this is make the child the focus.
Yeah.
Child-centered, yes. Whatever you have to do, if you have to swallow your pride with ogbono soup, please do that for the sake of the
Ogbono soup
child.
is expensive now.
Yes, we try okra there, but probably something draw to swallow the pride and the ego. Yeah, that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we take yet another topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.